Boom! We're back. The name of the
Yeah.
game is Volohin, Winds of War. The name of the episode, episode 11, episode 11, is Firestarter. And where did we leave off? We left off with our characters going to this area in the southeast of Bronzewood Grove to head
Mhm.
off a group of would be intruders. I think they are still technically intruding upon this very sacred land to Egner.
True
But
that.
Egner was shocked to find that among that group was none other than Ethel Vishun. Um, yeah, a very significant character in Egner's kind of history in this game, and a woman that he has not seen in a long time. Still can't see her, but can definitely sense her presence and know that it is her right there. And they've got a lot to talk about. So
Yes, indeed.
that's kind of where we're starting.
And actually, where we're going to start is I would like from Halifax
Hmm.
a what check would be best attached to his ability to remember things. I often,
Uh, Maybe some
I
kind
often
of
like history
history,
because
but base it on wisdom. Maybe. I don't know. Memory, it's interesting to argue whether memory is more of an intelligence or a wisdom thing.
it's true. So I'm going to go ahead and let Halifax decide what is his memory strength. What is the strength of his memory? Is the ability to keep on studying and looking back over his thoughts in practice, which I would say is intelligence, or is it just his innate ability to call out certain things, which I would say is wisdom?
Decisions.
I think that Halifax's strength is not in the retaining of information, but more the processing of information that he's come across, and sort of amalgamating that into his person. So his memory is not perfect. His memory is not great, but more the echoes, the shadows of memories. So like he'll remember a person's face and how they made him feel, but he won't necessarily remember like when exactly they met and that sort of thing.
Hmm. Okay, so that seems like more of a wisdom thing. It seems like
Yeah,
he's sort of doing his memory based on emotion, as opposed to
yeah,
like I would say with intelligence, you're someone who would sit and think about something and like continue playing that situation over in your head.
yeah.
Okay. So give me a insight check then.
George, what? I didn't hear you. The entire line cut out. Did you say roll 5d20s and pick the best? Because I rolled a 2,
Okay.
and and what was it? An insight check? Did you say?
Yeah.
Or just wisdom? Or
Wisdom, if you're trained in insight, you get it. If not, you don't.
that's a 5 in total.
Okay. Um, you are vaguely aware that you know that uh, the further out you guys went with setting up your defense, the more sparse your sort of like there were um, traps inlaid with druidic spells a little further out, as opposed to like so you get the traps section, and then you have where like the druids are sort of relocated in their animal forms, and then you have the center of Bronzewood Grove. Um, you know there are traps out at somewhere in some area, but you're not sure if you're in the area of trap or uh, still where a lot of the druids would reside.
Okay.
You guys do hear the faint hooting of an owl. It does not seem as distressed any longer, and it just occasionally will hoot, and it seems like it's changing like position as that happens. Uh, and as the rest of the scene moves on, you have the two men wearing breastplates and helmets. They have light guards on their wrists and on their shins, but aside from that, are just kind of wearing flowing outfits. They both have capes, and they both have a sword at their hip. Um, they're coming down the crest of the hill. One of them a few feet before the other. Um, and as they're coming closer, Agner, you hear Ethel whisper in your ear, "Tell your friends to stay back if they know what's good for them." And this might seem like a bizarre request, but roughly 50 feet away from us.
Okay. Everybody, hold. Halifax, Ellie, please, give us some more space. Back, if you will.
All right.
The head of the two men, the two breastplated men, the one at the head, comes forward and takes off his helmet and holds it under his arm as he approaches Agner and says, "I am Commander Jaren. If I heard you right, you are Agner Bosch."
It is I.
And he is giving you a bit of a quizzical look.
Well, I'm not even looking at him. I mean, I can't see Ethel's face, but my eyes are still locked right to where Ethel is right in front of me. It looks like I'm not even acknowledging him, but I am talking to him.
You can feel as she pulled away from you from the hug, her scarred cheek brushing against your grizzled beard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing you're not shaving too well recently.
Oh no.
You can still feel the slight pressure of her hand on your shoulder.
I will shudder at the imagination of what the rest of her face must look like, and then I will say, Jaren, Ethel, before you come any farther into my grove, please tell me, what is it that you are doing here?
Jaren coughs to command attention and stands with his shoulders up. And by now, his second in command, or his the next person is kind of like leveled with him, but he's keeping his helmet on. He says, "I am sorry to inform you of this, Agner, but we have come to arrest you."
Jaren, with all due respect, I've been through a lot, and I've been through this exact kind of thing before. Didn't turn out too well for me. And I cannot agree to anything like this. You have come into my home. You have trespassed. Even though you've brought with you someone whom I respect very much, I will not let that stop me from defending myself and my land and my friends.
That is unfortunate. I had really hoped that we could go about this scenario without any real conflict.
Look, Jaren, if you're trying to come in here and tell me again that I am a Class B monstrosity, nothing could be further from the truth. I've been healed, I am whole, and I am beyond your jurisdiction. You have nothing on me.
I'm afraid that is no longer true. As tensions rise and strategic places of value become more compromised, it is our job to make the best impression we can upon those who would aid us. And as he begins to talk, his servant takes a step forward, and then there is a flash of blinding light as a bolt of lightning strikes the sky and crashes onto this person. And it suddenly occurs to Halifax, we're into the trap section, and he's just triggered one of those traps. As the lightning just cascades over this guy, and you can smell the flash burning. Jaren pulls his sword and levels it at you and says, "What is the meaning of this?" And I guess we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative, but only for conversation for a moment until Poseidon
Uh-huh.
is able to do more than that.
Okay. Could I have tried to do something in the confusion of the lightning strike and everything?
Of course.
Egner will draw his sword quickly with one hand coming out from the scabbard, and with the other arm that he has free because the shield is still on his back, with the other arm he'll swoop around and grab Ethel by the body. Essentially, he's got one arm coming up from under her arm, swooping across her chest, and has just got her pinned, and then he'll take the sword and put it to her neck and put Ethel in front of him and in between him and Jared.
Um, Jaren like has his sword about half pulled from the sheath, and he stops. The flash of lightning has dissipated. The other guy is breathing heavy. To kind of uh, he goes to pull off his chest plate, but like he like throws his helmet off and goes to pull it off, but like it's searing his flesh a little bit. Um, and Halifax, you recognize that this other guy who just got a bolt of lightning, uh, he is a Asimar. He's got a slightly fairer color of skin. He's a little bit taller. And then upon seeing his face and seeing like the lightness of the coloration of his eyes, it becomes pretty apparent to you, having lived and being an Asimar yourself.
Jaren, that is just one small taste of what awaits you if you trespass any farther into my grove. Like I said before, I will not hesitate to do what I need to do.
Roll initiative.
All right.
I got
Oh. Egner is last as fuck, dude. So last.
I got 60.
I have two.
All right.
That many.
And Ellie was 16.
Yeah.
And Halifax was
18.
18.
Excuse me, 18.
Okay. Calculating initiative. I feel like on monsters they don't actually put the initiative in the block.
Yeah, you just roll their dexterity.
I know, it's just
Yeah.
like it would be easier if it was right there. Okay. Well, that's good for you guys. I didn't roll too well either.
All right.
Okay, so the first person who's going to be able to react is Halifax, but you guys begin to hear the roaring and pounding sound as there seems to be creatures just fighting to make their way towards you from the other side of the hill. Halifax, it is your turn. Jaren's like still got his sword drawn. He hasn't responded to Eridu yet, or Agner yet.
Agner.
He's still looking at him with a bit of concern and not quite confusion, but maybe frustration. What are you going to do, Halifax?
I'm going to take one small step forward to make it clear that I'm willing to get involved in this if it comes to blows, but
It's not
trying
looking
to not
good
be-
right now.
it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
But not being like thoroughly intimidating or anything. And I'll say to them, "You say you come to collect Aigner. On what authority do you do that on these grounds?"
It is from the order of the doctor that we have come. We are a precision tool used to cut out a cancer and potentially strengthen our relationship with Twin Harbors. The ISCB has a stronger hold than you might have last remembered.
Perhaps this is something that we must discuss in something of a judiciary committee. Uh, there seems to be some sort of jurisdictional mishap. These lands have been given the sovereign authority over to the Druids. Uh, they currently are inhabiting these lands, and it is theirs by claim. If you claim to the contrary, and that you do in fact have jurisdiction over these lands, then perhaps this is something to sit down and discuss with their leadership. See who truly has authority in this place, and who indeed should have control over the future fate of Agner Bosch. Certainly you have someone in your party with the authority to parley.
Roll me a. I'm gonna call this a deception check.
Yeah, because I'm talking out my bum.
There is no way to really enforce the "we were here first, it's our land" law.
I got an 11.
Is it? No, it's fair try. Fair try.
Well,
Good old
I've got spells for this sort of thing. Why am
That's
I?
what I'm screaming, dude. I mean, like, dude.
use a spell
there-
for this sort of
There's
thing, but
there's so many situations where Halifax is just doing something, and then I think in my brain, like, he's an enchanter, though.
yeah.
Can't he enchant people with enchanting spells?
Yeah, you know what? I think I will go for charm person.
Ooh, baby.
If I may.
You may in fact do that instead. That is fine. That is
Cool.
a lot more.
I will cast it as a. Ooh, hold on. I just need to double check a thing. Now, when I cast charm person, it targets one person. Higher
Right.
spell levels allow me to target additional people.
Yes.
Now, I also have from the School of Enchantment the split enchantment ability. When I cast an enchantment spell of first level or higher that targets only one creature, I can have it target a second creature. I suppose
Okay.
it does specify second creature, so
Are you gonna
I
have it target Jaren and then the his companion?
yeah. So I'm going to cast it as a first level spell, but yes, I'm going to
Use split
try and
enchantment.
attack- Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
What is
DC
the
17.
DC 17? All right, Jaren looks at you and kind of goes, "Well, it could be a jurisdiction matter." And then his companion kind of husks and goes, "Don't be ridiculous, Jaren. Druids don't have jurisdiction just because they were here first. We were given an order." And Jaren kind of looks at him with a bit of a daze. Says, "Fine. If you won't fulfill your duties, I will." And he steps forward, draws his sword. "Agner Bosch and the rest of you are under arrest. Come peacefully, or don't." It is now Ellie's turn unless there's more Halifax could do.
Okay. So he's stepping forward to
Mhm.
do something. Okay, I will cast heat metal on his chest plate that he couldn't
Oh.
get off before.
That poor guy. All right.
Oh, man. He thought he was in the hot seat with the lightning bolt, dude.
Yep.
He's really in the hot seat now.
What's the DC for that?
It's not really a DC. It's just like they take damage until they
Oh,
They
until
can
they can
take it
take
off.
it
Until
off.
they can take
That's
it.
right.
If it's something that they can drop, then they can do a dexterity saving throw to see if they can like drop it in time. But if
Right.
it's something that like this, the armor, then he's just kind of screwed until he takes it off.
Yeah. Okay.
So it is 2d8.
All right.
Oh, rubbish. For
4
fire
damage.
Yeah.
Okay. As he's talking, he like his chest plate starts to redden and burn, and At first, he looks like he's trying to weather it, and then he just starts to grit his teeth, and then after a moment, it is no longer his turn, so he can't actually react yet. So we'll do that in his turn. Well, he starts to sort of like he drops his sword and starts to fumble with the latches.
Can I pull out my sword that now has like a bit of a sort of flash to it as it comes out, as it's now a radiant sword?
Sticker
nice.
snack, dude.
And like point it towards him and just say, "Your superior told you to stand down."
All right. With that, it will be Ethel's turn, and she is going to shake her head, and
I've still got her.
I know, and whisper to Agner, "Look, I can get us out of here, but I'm pretty sure your friends are fucked."
Ethel, this is your last chance to do something about these goons and get all of you out of here. I'm not going with you. If you just want to take me, I'm not going with you because, to be honest, I don't trust you. For all I know, Vincent sent you here.
All right. Where's my D4? There it is. As you say that, 1 second, she is being held by you, and then the next moment you feel the blade kind of move slowly away, but not fast enough for you to, but too fast for you to actually make a reaction. And then there is a flash of energy, and you are standing in this part of the grove completely alone. You no longer hear the beasts fighting in the distance. You no longer, or like fighting, moving in the distance. You no longer see Ethel or or Joran or the other ones. The sword that Joran's companion dropped is still laying on the ground. That seems to be the only evidence that they were over there.
Agno, what do you make of this?
Well, as far as I know, I'm here alone.
No. There's
Wait.
Your companions are still there. Just all of them.
Okay. Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it. So essentially, Ethel and the goons and the beasts, like, it just seems like they disappeared.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll say, well, Halifax, it looks like she took my warning.
I will give
they-
Ellie and Halifax a chance to roll Arcana checks.
Please
Have
do, because
Have an insight into what happened.
Egner's convinced.
While they're doing that, an owl comes fluttering down and lands next to you, turning into the halfling again. And Eric looks up at Agner and, bloody good show, mate. Man, I didn't know how you guys were gonna get out of that.
I was worried as well.
I mean, I was ready and poised and waiting to fly back to everyone else and tell them you were dead.
Helpful little one, aren't you?
I do what I can when I can.
Were you trying to say something, Carrie? Or
just the roll. The roll.
oh yeah, do
give
the
me
rolls. Do the
Arcana
rolls.
Yeah.
Crit.
Awesome.
I got a crit fail. I got a natural 1.
Oh no.
Hell yeah! I'm proud of both of you guys.
So Halifax, you are like, your eyes are locked onto Agner's sword, and you were like, that is a new thing. I've never seen it just instantly banish people like that. You convinced what happened. But Ellie, having been paying a little more attention to Ethel with her mistrusting eye, was able to notice that uh, she can actually see the traces of movement that Ethel was making in the moments that she had. Um, and she definitely recognized that the last thing that happened was Ethel had teleported everyone out of there. She knew and she knows that these magics were some pretty advanced spellcasting. But that's about as far as the direct understanding goes.
Seems like your friend teleported us away.
Not anymore. I mean, not a friend anymore. That's what I meant.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Cool.
Trying to play it cool. Yeah, it's no big deal. Ah. Egner will say in a very authoritative voice, "Okay, now that they're gone, we need to go north, and we need to make sure the other group of druids is okay with their contingent that they took on."
Agner, just because they teleported us away, it doesn't mean that they're gone. I think she teleported us from them.
Oh
Is that right?
no! She teleported them from you because the sword
Oh.
that the one guy had dropped is still on the ground.
Yeah, we're still in the same place in the grove.
They could easily be though, like further inside.
Could easily be.
Could easily be
what's the distance?
anywhere.
I'm trying to look at the distance of teleportation.
Oh, is that 5th level spell you were talking about earlier?
No, it's a 7th level spell.
Oh. Well, all right. Well, Egner will urge his comrades to head north.
Oh, I see. It's
Okay.
Be vigilant. They could be anywhere. And now that we know that they're not here on friendly terms, I suppose I can do some of this. And it's at this point that Egner's going to cast some spells. He's going to put a supportive hand on Hilofax's shoulder and pump him with some intense magics. So this one, Warding Bond, Hilofax, while you're within 60 feet of me, you have +1 bonus to AC and saving throws, and you have resistance to all damage. And anytime you take damage, I also take damage, but it's half damage because you have resistance to all damage. So I'm linking us, and I'm giving you a huge burst of my vitality. And then, for Ellie, I'm going to extend to you and touch your shoulder and give you Shield of Faith. So there's a shimmery aura around you, and you have a +2 bonus to your armor class.
Ellie got my sloppy seconds. I got pumped me full of his magic.
Look,
Mumble something about favoritism.
yeah. Look, Hilofax is more in need of having resistance to damage. Let's be honest here.
Drew, does Hilofax do you do many spell attacks?
I do tend to, yes.
What do you
you mean that require spell attack rolls?
I think so, yeah.
He's got some really good ones that are saving throw ones that the enemies do.
Yeah, but those are the ones that I tend to focus on. In fact, deliberately so, making them make saving throws rather than me do an attack roll.
That's fine.
Well, with that being said, as you guys start to make your way north, Eric begins to caw again, and Agner hears the swooshing of large wings, and 2 chimera come in from both sides from behind you and swoop down at you. You can't quite tell, but they look similar to the ones that were with the original party that you confronted. I'm going to keep the same initiative rolls you guys had.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they swoop on down. both of them just opening their snake-like mouth, and acid just spews from it down towards you. Make
Oof.
me DC 15 saving throws. Two saves.
Dec-
You're getting
wait.
attacks.
Dexterity. Wait, two. Okay,
Dexterity.
two saves because they're both
Both launching their breath weapon.
both launching breath weapons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two dex saves.
So I. Yeah, I do get the bonus here. Egner whips his shield around. Oop, hold on. Alright, so that first one is 17, and that second one is 6.
All right. So the 17 succeeds, so you take half damage, which is 9. The second one fails, you take full damage, which is 18.
Okay, so
Everybody else?
27 total.
What is the saving throw? Sorry.
DC 15 dexterity save throws. These two chimera coming from behind you are letting out a breath of blast of acidic.
Okay. Failed
Stuff.
one. Failed and saved one.
And you
Okay,
get +1 to both of those saving throws, Drew.
Right.
Because I did
Ooh,
warding
yes,
bond
I
on you.
do. In
Okay.
which case, I got a 15 and a 16.
Those both save. You take half damage, which is 9.
And then you take half
Um,
damage because you have resistance to all damage. But then I take the total amount of damage that you take. So you take just 9 damage? Is that the way that'll work? Or do you round
Yeah,
down and he
well,
just takes
you'd-
8?
You hit round up, actually, because it'd be half 9, which is 5. You take 10, and then you take 10.
I thought you rounded down in all these
No,
things.
you always round up.
Really?
Yep.
I round down with everything in this game.
Oh, well,
But
I
okay,
think
no,
Raw's-
that's cool.
Raw's up.
All
I
right,
don't
so
really-
we'll call it 10. I take 10 damage, you take 10 damage, but I'm
And then
helping you
Ellie-
out, man.
Ellie takes 18 and then 9. This is also acid damage, if you have any damage resistances towards that.
I do not. Necrotic, radiant, yes.
Oh, and you actually might be right, Kyle. It might be round down.
That's why I'm screaming. So do we both get 2 hit points back?
Yes,
Excellent.
I'll give it a round down.
You get 2 hit points back, Drew.
Yay!
All right, these things are flying. They were within about no more than 15 feet, so they kind of have a 15-foot cone that shoots out. So they're both like right next to each other, flying down, letting this out. So the person they're closest to is probably about 5 feet away. And I'm guessing the line is probably Agner, and then maybe Ellie like front, and then Halifax kind of following up behind them, and then Eric is taken to flying again. So I think that Halifax is the closest, and then Agner and Ellie are a little bit further behind.
There's a lot of E names in this game, dude.
There are, and it's going to make things really terrible for me.
Yeah. All right, so whose turn?
It is just going down the same initiative. Would be
Halifax.
Halifax. Yep. Halifax, then Ellie, and then Agner.
Okay. Instead of looking at all my spells, let's cast one. So, we've got 2 chimeras.
Mhm.
Dominate person is not going to work.
Nope, they are not persons.
They are not persons.
Could you imagine if they were, though?
I guess.
I'm gonna try sleep.
Okay.
Just to see if it works. Cast at 6th level.
Ooh, baby. That's a lot of D8s, dude. That's like,
yeah.
that's like 10 D8. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
It's an additional 2d8 for each slot.
Oh,
above
it's
first.
additional 2 D8. Oh, that's a shit ton. So
Mhm.
that's like 15 D8.
Yeah, because it's 5d8 for standard. And
Yeah.
Then, an additional
5 levels
10.
above, times 2. Yeah. That's like 15 D8. Oh, man. That could seriously work.
You might put one to sleep. Maybe 2.
Right.
Roll it,
let's-
roll it, roll it. That's a lot of rolling. Roll it, roll
Okay.
it.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Go, go, Google Dice Roller. No, that's not great. That's a total of 51.
That does nothing.
Ugh.
God.
Ah!
You cast sleep, knowing that your companions are behind you, and you're not going to accidentally put them to sleep. The chimeras rage forward, still quite coherent.
God damn it.
That's why you don't trust Google Dice Roller.
I know, right?
It's also why you don't throw sleep at enemies that haven't taken any damage.
Also that.
I mean, I've
10,
I've done it, so I get it.
10 of those 15 dice were 4 or below. There were
Oof.
4 ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why you don't trust Google Dice
Don't
Roller.
trust Google Dice Roller.
Not even once.
Not
Only
in.
time you use Google Dice Roller is when you're a DM and you want to roll further. I can already tell you right now, I've rolled 4 out of the 15 dice just to experiment with my own, and I've rolled 2 8s.
Yep.
Plus a 3 and a 5.
Yep. Figures.
So on 4 dice, I've already done like a quarter of what you did.
Jeez.
Alright, so is it Ellie's turn?
Nope, half. Half what you did.
Word.
I mean,
It
like,
is
I
Ellie's
kind
turn.
of feel like Halifax technically did nothing that turn, which means that I should get another. No, I'm kidding. Go on. Go on, Ellie, steal my thunder.
Okay, so there are these two things. Where are they?
They are right behind Halifax, like 5 feet behind Halifax, about 10 feet in front behind you. You guys had your backs turned when they like first appeared, and kind of like look back over your shoulders, see them swooping at you, and then just breath weapon. I did also roll 5 ones in my test, and I think I ended up with like 62 in total. So my own dice wouldn't have done much better.
I'm gonna. Can I reach them? Are they off the ground, or are they?
Yeah, they're like maybe another 5 feet off the ground. They had to kind of fly low to breath weapon, but they were trying to get above your heads and drop it down on you.
Okay, so if I got underneath them, I could hit
I'll
them.
put them 10 feet above the ground. That makes a little more sense, and then it'll allow you to get underneath
So
of
I
the...
can't hit them. But I couldn't hit them though, could I? Because they'd be out of reach.
You can...
10 feet would be
Well,
too
you know,
high.
yeah, you can hit them.
Okay. I'd just take it, that's fine. I
You
will
can get up under there
run-
and stab. It's all
Yeah,
good.
that's what I'm gonna do. Find light. For this. Is there 21 to hit?
Yeah, that'll hit.
8 damage, and I'll do the arcane jolt as well.
All right.
So, an extra 4 damage, force damage? And that,
Force damage.
and
Okay.
then, and then second attack.
All right.
It's 20 to hit.
Mhm.
And 12 damage on that
Okay.
one. Yeah, I'm not really going to be able to do anything. I rolled his dex checks as well, and he didn't do well, so he's
Oh,
not got
no.
a lot of health.
Oh, so you spell them both?
He passed one and failed one, so I did it the same as what I got. But yeah, he doesn't have a lot of health. I'll tell him to like move around to try and kind of cover Halifax a little bit, even though Halifax seems kind of fine. But
All right.
I'm good.
Okay. On that note, it is then Agner's turn as Ellie runs up and just like stabs one at one's underbelly,
For sure.
and then gives it a good slash across the paw.
So is there a way for Egner to get adjacent to the both of them?
Yes, they're pretty close to each other.
Okay. All right. So
They've probably got enough room that you could get like right between their two heads.
Mhm. Okay. So Egner will get over there, and he's actually going to kind of throw. He's going to be a little bit reckless. He's going to leave his shield. Actually, he took out his shield to defend against the acid, but then he's gonna put his shield away, and he's just gonna want both hands for this one. So he turns his longsword into a slightly deadlier weapon because it's all versatile and stuff. Anyway, so he goes charging in, gets adjacent to both of them, and he's just gonna do a flurry of attacks. So he's gonna target the first one, and he's gonna roll a total of. Gosh, that's only like 10. Just got to get these numbers in my head. Yeah. So that's 10, so that's a miss. So then he does the extra attack, and then that is going to be a 21.
That'll definitely hit.
Okay, that'll definitely hit. So then he's going to make this one into a trip attack.
Okay.
So, I rolled 2 1s on the damage. Oh my god.
Oh no. Is this the one that Ellie's already attacked, or is this the other one?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start with the one that Ellie already attacked. And so then that'll be a total of 6 damage, and it has to make a DC 15 strength saving throw, because this is going to be a trip attack.
It rolled an 18.
It rolled an 18. Okay.
Yep.
So then he's going to target that one again. He's going to pop Action Surge and do another attack. And that's going to be 18 against AC.
That hits.
He's going to turn that into another trip attack
Alright.
and do much better on the damage. That is going to be a total of 15 damage, slashing damage. Oh, dude, I've been rolling the wrong damage dice. God damn it.
Oh, you're rolling.
I was rolling D8s
D10s.
instead of D10s. It's okay. It's okay. So it's going to be 15 damage, and he has to make another strength saving throw.
Okay. The strength saving throw is a total of 17. And because you've been rolling the wrong damage dice, I will let you go ahead and say you didn't put your shield away.
Okay, that's
Because
fair.
you don't need to have two-handed weapon to do any of the stuff you've done.
Yeah, that's true. It was just going to be this cool like flavor. If they fail the strength saving throw, he's going to like grab them with the other hand and pull them down to the ground. You know.
Sadly,
That's kinda,
they
like,
did
the whole
not.
point.
That
Okay,
was
so then,
something else.
gosh, I guess he's just going to keep on hammering this one. He really wanted to knock one down to the ground. All right.
Yeah, this one's taken a lot of gashes to the underbelly, and it's like tried to swipe the swords away, and the inside of its lion legs are all hacked up.
Okay, so I missed with the last attack. And since I technically have a bonus action left, I'm going to actually try and knock it prone. I'm doing everything I can to just get one of these on the ground. So I get to do my Shield Master Bash, and it's just going to be opposed athletics checks. I did not do great. I got a 12.
I got an 18.
Okay. So Egner just came in and slashed a bunch, and the important thing is that he's adjacent to each one of them, so he can get a possible opportunity attack.
That's it. And it's their turn. Tool ninja moves. I dropped the dice and I caught it. All right, so the one that's been just hacked out a whole bunch. It's kind of lost at who it's going to go for. So its 2 claws are going to swipe down at Ellie, who's just underneath it. As it does that, its snake head is going to like kind of spring out and take a bite at Egner. So the Egner attack is a 21.
That'll hit.
The Ellie attacks are 21 and a 19.
You do have the +2 to AC, by the way.
+2.
Yeah, I did Shield of Faith on you.
Okay, I've got 19.
Okay.
Armor.
So
Remember,
those-
he gave you that shield of faith while he was pumping me full of his good magic.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I remember that. I remember
they're both hits.
that. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so Egner, you take 12 damage, and Ellie, you take 6 and 7. So is that 15?
Oh
No,
goodness.
15. And then the other one just drops down. Its ram head kind of rears back, and it lunges forward, and that ram head just plows or aims to plow into Egner. 20. That's a 24. It's definitely gonna hit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it slams into you, and you take 8 damage from that bludgeoning damage, and I want you to make a opposing strength check with this creature. Opposing
Wait,
acrobatics.
strength saving throw, strength is it athletics
Oh no, let's
check
do
or
strength. Yeah, do a strength saving throw.
strength saving throw?
Yeah.
It's only 13.
Okay. It rams you in the chest, and you are knocked to the ground. And as soon as you are knocked to the ground, just brings both claws down and rends them. Attempts to rend them across you.
This
18?
motherfucker. 18 will not hit me.
And the other one is less than that. So yeah, as it brings the claws down, you just bring your shield up, and its claws like clamp along your shield and sort of push down. And now it is Halifax's turn.
Save me, Halifax! Don't do a useless spell this time.
Fine. God, that was my only 6th level slot as well.
I mean, it was a really cool idea. It was a really cool idea. If you had rolled more 8s, maybe it would have worked out.
Maybe if you didn't suck, it would have been cool. That's all I'm hearing.
I'm still blaming Google Dice Roller. I'm not blaming you at all.
I think that what we should instead do is cast blindness and deafness. Let's do this. Let's make one of these things, 2 of these things, blind and deaf.
Sounds
Blind
like a
or
plan.
You can blind or deafen a foe. I will blind them both. So yeah, using a 2nd level spell slot and using my split enchantment to split the blindness and deafness enchantment. It's a necromancy spell. Does split enchantment work on necromancy spells, or is it just exactly enchantment
I think it's
spells?
just enchantment spells because it's a enchantment school
Like
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I do think so.
Yeah, enchantment spells. No, you're right. In which case, I'll need to use a 3rd level slot to hit 2 people with it, or 2 things with it. So they need to make Constitution saving throws, DC 17.
Wow, good for them. The Agner has used up all of their good rolls on his save throws. They both
Nice.
fail.
Nice. Very nice.
I mean,
Okay,
do they get to
so-
roll it like 3 times each because they have 3 heads? They don't get
No.
advantage on those sorts of saves, which is
Mm-mm.
actually kind of weird for a Chimera.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad. Oh, no, too bad.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna
It's
roll in favor
it's
of
just
them.
too bad.
They've been pumping out a crap ton of damage. I'm not gonna make it any harder.
They've been fucking me up, my dog, dude.
Alright.
They've been fucking me up.
Are you gonna do anything else now that they've sort of reared back? The one on putting pressure on Agner like stumbles backward. All 3 heads are just looking around in confusion. The other one that's right above Ellie is like just swaying its paws back and forth, and kind of flying a little bit further in the air, a little out of reach of. It can't even reach Ellie with its paws at this point. What else are you gonna do? There, Halifax.
Well, since they're blind, was it both of them that failed?
Yes.
Budging A. I will not move because I don't want to provoke attacks of opportunity or anything. So I'm just gonna stay where I am. Did Ellie like move Ein towards me, or was it Ellie herself that came towards me?
I
Ein.
think I only moved Iron towards you. I don't think you're not really any threat of an opportunity attack at the moment.
Oh, sweet. In that case, yeah, I'm gonna shift to properly put like Ein between me and them.
Okay. Cool. And that would then make it Ellie's turn.
Okay. I just stab up again at the one above me.
That one is kind of fluttered up far enough away
Uh,
that I think you're both.
Wait, it fluttered up away?
Yeah, it's like kind of. Well, no, it's not its turn. So I'm sorry. Yeah, you can do that.
Because
Um,
when
have
they
this
do
ab-
when they flutter away, I attack them.
Yeah, I have this ability. I have this whole thing about like explaining reactions to attacks and then forgetting that it's not their turn.
Mm.
So, on its turn, you'll get attacks of opportunity.
Do I get advantage because it's blind on her?
Is that how the spell works there?
Well, I mean, that's just
Or does
how
it take-
blindness works in general. When you can't
Oh,
see
okay.
your
Then yeah.
assailant.
Yep, you get it. Oh, that's right. I should be rolling advantage against Agner with all attacks.
Well, no, because I can sense them other ways. I'm a daredevil, dude.
I think there's a whole thing about like your feet being super deadly toward you.
I mean, I can show you the text and everything, my dog.
I would love to see the text. 'Cause I
Word.
gotta abuse the negative aspects. I don't do it enough.
Well, it is a possibility.
All right, go ahead and do your turn there, Carrie.
29 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And 9 damage. I do such shit damage. I don't know why. And 21 and 10 damage.
Okay, so 9 damage and 10 damage. Okay, got it. All right, Agner.
All right, so they're still right next to me.
Yeah, one's like it was. It's pressure on your
Oh, yeah, exactly.
shield
Okay.
has sort of come off a little bit. You've got
I'm-
room to get yourself back on your feet again.
Okay. So I can spend half of my movement to stand up,
Mhm.
and then I think I'm just going to keep the pressure on the one that I'm right in front of. I'm
Okay.
going to use a bonus action to use Second Wind and get some hit points back.
Yeah.
Oh, rolled a 10. That is sweet. So that's, gosh, how much? Oh, that's capped out at 8 because I only have 8 fighter levels. That's okay. That's okay. So I'm looking a little better, and then I'm just gonna attack the one right in front of me, and get a 20 to its AC.
That hits.
I will turn this into a trip attack, and I deal 14 damage, and it has to make a DC 15 strength saving throw.
I'm gonna give it disadvantage because the whole blinding thingy. So that's 15. No, I'm sorry. That's a 9 because I take the lower dice.
Yeah. All right. So finally, I knocked one prone,
Yep.
and then I'm just going to attack it again with my second attack, getting 25 to AC, dealing. Oh man, 12 damage.
Did you put your shield away for this one?
No, the
Okay.
shield's still out.
So you've like kind of gotten yourself up. This is how I'm envisioning it. You're laying under this thing. You feel its feet kind of lift up from under your shield, and you take that opportunity to get your feet under you and shoulder behind your shield and push yourself up. And as you do, like bringing that shield and using your own momentum, its own momentum to like push it onto its side.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to give me those damage rolls again because I was more interested in what you did than what
Well-
you did damage-wise.
Well, the first one was 14 damage, and then the second one was 12 damage.
12 damage. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you knock that creature onto its side and then just
Mm-hmm.
take some slashes at it. And now it's their turn. That one starts to kind of scurry away and move away from you. So you can take an attack of opportunity against that one that's on the ground right now.
Oh man. Okay, so that's only 15 to its AC.
That'll hit.
Oh, that'll hit. Sweet. Okay. So in that case, it takes 11 damage and it stops in its tracks. It's like maybe its tail is like away or like scooting away from me, and then I take the sword and just stab it straight down and just staple
Yeah.
through the tail into the ground and stop him.
All right. And you can only take one reaction.
Yeah,
So the
so
other
I-
one
Yeah.
that's fluttering above Ellie and you, it starts to like flutter and swing its claws randomly. am assuming that a 14 is going to miss Ellie,
Mhm.
and that's definitely going to miss. How about an 18? Your AC is now 19.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, it just swings its claws, just over your head. One just gets right above you, and you sort of feel this barrier between you and it begin to pulsate as the claws get really close to you. But then it sort of drifts back, and you have an opportunity for an attack opportunity.
Is it with still advantage still on?
Yes, it's still blind.
27,
That'll hit.
14 damage.
Okay. And Kyle, the one that's next to you, that's like, you just pinned it. It starts just bucking out with its back legs, just kicking randomly. It's not able to actually get at you. It doesn't get anywhere close. But at one point, it like gets um, those back legs underneath itself and like kicks and twists itself and kind of starts to fly a little bit. But its tail still pinned to the ground, does this sideways arc and just crashes into the other chimera. They both just fall to the ground together in a heap. Carrie, make me a dexterity roll.
8.
All right. You are not able to move in time as both chimeras, or one of the chimeras, comes crashing down on you.
Ay, ay, ay.
Take 12 bludgeoning damage, are knocked prone, and are currently under like the paw of one of these chimeras.
Cool.
They get to make their save throw at the end of their turn, right?
I think that's how that spell works, right, Drew?
Um,
There it is.
I don't know why I'm looking this up when it's on the D&D Beyond, but let's have a look at it anyway. Is this the
Blindness, deafness.
Yep.
Yeah. At the end of each of its turns, it gets to make a saving throw again, but it lasts for a minute.
Okay. Yeah. DC is 15?
17.
17. Okay. One of them. Oh, and I'm sorry. Is it a Constitution? I need to double check that.
It is Constitution, I think.
Okay, because
For sure.
Oh yeah, no. One of them makes the save. The other does not. So the one that has its tail pinned to the ground, it's kind of laying on its back on top of the other chimera, and its heads, at least two of them, turn towards Ellie, and it's got a sharp sense of danger in its eyes, and it starts to kind of turn its body over to right itself again. The other one is still thrashing and flailing underneath its companion, and that makes it Hillifac's turn.
Okay. So, I mean, try casting blindness, and we will not succeed it. But let's try something else. So, the one that's currently pinning Ellie.
Mhm.
Is it like a whole stack? Like Ellie's on the bottom, then you got one chimera, and then the other chimera?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it's not quite that. They're large creatures, so it's more like you got one with its paw and upper body laying across Ellie, and you got the other one that's like laying across the lower body of the other. But still, it's
So let's go for lightning bolt with real dice. Let's just
okay.
blast this thing with 10d6. It gets a dexterity saving throw, DC 17. Let's grab the d6.
All
Wow.
right. Is there a chance you're gonna hit Ellie with this?
Well, not. I mean, maybe not if he's targeting the one that's on the top. You know.
Okay.
I will be targeting the one that's immediately on top of Ellie, but since it's a straight line between me and the target, basically, so long as I don't aim down at the ground or am on top of the thing, then it should be fine.
Oh,
Okay.
we should definitely pile on. Get on top.
It
Get
should
Iron
be
on top.
fine.
Everybody, pile on! Everybody, get in
Get
here!
in here!
That's all for us Hearthstone players.
Everyone, get in here!
All right. So, yeah. Do I need to make a roll or is it an attack roll?
Uh,
Oh, it's a
it's
saving
a
throw.
saving throw.
Okay. I will give you both chimeras and leave Ellie out of it.
Okay.
They both get a disadvantage because of their proneness. For some reason, I'm giving them disadvantage. Shut up. Okay. One passes, one fails. Lucky for you, the one that's taken a lot of damage is the one that failed.
Nice.
Okay, so that's 7, 12, 17, 28, 33, 34, and 12, 46. That's 46 damage total. So 46 to 1, and the one that saved getting. Is it half?
23 lightning.
uh,
Yeah, half as much damage on a successful saving throw. And of course it's lightning, so if they've got resistance to it.
no, it doesn't. Okay. So the one on top, it rolls just a little bit, so it's not directly on top of on top of the blind one. That lightning bolt just spears through, catching just clipping the one that's no longer blind, that's got its tail still pinned to the ground, but like tearing straight through the side of the one on top of Ellie. Its different heads all screech and growl and hiss as its body just burns and crackles underneath that lightning. And then Ellie just feels the body go limp on top of her. The other one, trying to right itself, it lets out a great big roar, and it is Ellie's turn.
Well, I mean, I'm pinned underneath thing up.
Ein could probably drag that thing off you.
Go, Ein, go!
Yeah, I'll get him to, if that's okay, to try and like shove it off.
Of course.
I think that's my bonus action though. And then can I reach the other one?
Um,
Oh, no.
Ein, so you're doing your Ein's bonus action to push off, yeah, and then you use half your movement to get up, and then you can.
Yeah, it's still pinned down pretty close to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of its movements, because I'm terrible at this whole descriptive things, any descriptive movements that happen while it's not its turn are all staying within its immediate space.
Okay.
So if it's a tactical map and it's taking up a 10 foot by 10 foot square, it would do all those things within that 10 foot by 10 foot square.
Well, okay, I'll just stop it.
Stab it in the face. In the goat face.
18.
That'll hit.
It's 10, but I'll do the arcane job.
Okay.
As well. So 3 extra fast damage.
Alright.
13 total. 14.
14 hits.
Okay. 11 damage.
Alright. And then that puts us at Egner.
Okay, well, I'm just going to take out the sword from the tail that has been pinning it down, and I'm just going to lunge at it and just try and go for the kill shot. It's not blind anymore. Certainly not. And I still got my shield up in defensive position as well. So I'm going to go blah, and then I get a 26 to AC.
That'll hit.
Dealing 8 damage.
Alright.
And then I'll do the other attack. And that is going to be 20 to AC.
That'll hit.
Dealing 11 damage.
Alright.
And then
So
what?
you have pulled your sword out of its tail, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah. I said that first. Took
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sword out of the tail and then just lunged at it and and did that
All
kill
right.
it?
No, yeah,
No.
it was like kind of as soon as it could, it was kind of getting itself crouched into a more defensive position. You lunge forward, hacking and slashing at it. It's like whipped its tail free as soon as it's unstabbed at the ground, and it's kind of gotten down in a cat-like position, its hindquarters in the air, its body low, paws swiping, trying to defend the sword blows you're making. And now it's the Chimera's turn.
No.
And
I got one more thing.
oh, go ahead.
Bonus action to try and knock it prone.
Okay.
I do the shield master bop on it, and we do opposed athletics.
Okay.
Oh God, not
14?
rolling well on these. I got only 12.
Okay, it got a 14. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to like to bash it with the shield again, and like you just slam into its ram horns and kind of like take a step back. And then with that, it just gives you a swipe with its claws. It's a 14 total. So just a haphazard swipe with the claws, and then it just flaps its wings and launches itself into the air. Go ahead and make an attack of opportunity.
Oh baby. Nat 20.
Nice.
Oh man, I love it. I just love it. I'm gonna make that into a maneuver, just 'cause I can.
Why not?
And we're gonna make it a trip attack, I guess. And let's see, 11, 14,
That was
18.
pretty well timed.
Yeah. Seriously. So that's gonna be a total of 22 slashing damage, and it has to make a strength saving throw, DC 15, or else it's gonna be knocked prone down on the ground where it belongs.
Okay. So what happens is, do you mind if I describe this death?
Go for
You're
it.
gonna kill it. Okay. So you throw your shield down and just grab the ram horn, and you feel this thing pulling strong. Like you're almost feeling like your arm is gonna get pulled out of your socket. It's giving you so much of a fight, and you just and the lion head is like right in your face. You jam your sword into the mouth of that lion head, into its brain, pull that out. This creature begins to falter a little more, and the snake head kind of slithers towards you. You take a sideways slice, decapitating that entirely, and then just slam the ram's head into the ground. The whole body just like coming from the sky, going head first, does this arcing thing where the whole back end goes up, and then the front end collides with the ground, and then everything just drops behind it,
Wow.
and it stops moving.
Wow.
The woods are alive with noises now. You can hear animals all around you howling and screeching, and then you hear a voice calling out from you. It's Eric. He's sitting on the perch of the tree a bit ahead of you, and he says, "Hey, you all, quickly, we better go. Bronzewood Grove looks like it's in trouble. Like the main camp."
Son of a biscuit.
With that, he turns into an owl and flies off in that direction. And we got about 5 minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and work on our outro here. Unless you guys have anything you want to say or do before this.
I mean, the only thing that Egner wants to do seems like it's not really an option. He just wants to take a little short rest, but doesn't
not
look
an
like that's really an option. Yeah.
All right.
So-
You all charge forward on the way to the center of the grove, where your encampment is at. You get there to see that some of the digloos have been caved in on themselves. There are spells flying in every direction, animals swooping down, large bears grabbing cloaked people and just shredding them. It's a full-on battle. It looks like something around 15 mages, some in breastplate armor with swords casting spells, others in full robes, and a few more of these chimera creatures, though many of those have been brought down. And you see as Joran, you can make him out. His helmet is gone. He's got a large gash across his cheek. He comes out of one of the digloos, holding Emily by the scruff of her clothes, and as soon as he comes out of there, he says, "All right, we've got what we've come for," and then he disappears. After that, you start to see he watches the wizards just pop out of the area entirely. Um, I will give you all a moment to respond in that, like, if you have a reaction to make, you may do that.
Well, Egner didn't quite see that it was Emily, but Kyle, the player, is just like, "Oh, we've been had." Of course, the Egner was just the distraction. They didn't actually want him. They wanted Emily, of course. Of course. But Egner will just try and get a status report from anyone that he can. That's all he's concerned with, is like finding a druid and saying, "Tell me what happened."
Okay, so how about Ellie and Halifax? Any spells, any reactions you can take right now? And I specifically mean reaction as the mechanic.
No, nothing I can think of in that regard. I think more like short term, Halifax is going to want to like join forces with Ellie in trying to like work out exactly what happened. See if we can like reverse engineer like where they went.
Does Halifax have counterspell?
I don't believe Halifax. Oh wait, hold on.
I do believe Theala taught Halifax counterspell.
Yes, Halifax was
Counterspell. Counterspell.
Now,
Counterspell.
I will not give you counterspell in response to Joran. Counterspell in response to one of the others. Because story.
There you go.
I know counterspell. I have not prepared.
No, don't tell me that. None of us can see your sheet. Just tell me that you have it prepared. You don't have to say that part.
I honestly, yeah. I don't care if you don't have it prepared. If you would like the counterspell right now, you may.
Counterspell. Come on. It would do Theala's memory a disservice to not have prepared counterspell.
I might just never prepare it ever again.
Right? You're like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it not prepared and then use it whenever it seems convenient.
Oh my goodness.
Well, no. If I can't stop them getting away with Emily, I can't think of anything that there is to counterspell. So no.
Well, I mean, you could counterspell another one of the mages trying to leave, and we could question him.
Asa, allow me to use it without it being prepared? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I will use counterspell.
Yeah.
Since
Oh,
I
yeah.
can, in theory, use it at fifth level, I will use it at 5th level, which means that it will cancel any spell. up
5th level or
to-
lower.
Yeah, there we go.
And if it's higher than that, then there's a check that needs to be made.
Yep. Let me just see. I have a weird spell. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the counterspell. I'm not gonna worry about the counter because it's normally a DC 10 plus the level if it's higher, but
Mm-hmm.
I think this one is going to be not teleportation. So, yep, you can do it.
All right.
Sweet.
Countered the
Alright.
spell.
Yeah, so as the mages are all just blipping out, Halifax just makes a symbol real quick at the nearest one. There is a kind of dissipation of energy, and then as that is fluttering away, he's still just kind of looking around, confused as to why he's still where he is. And by now the grove is pretty much gone of any of his companions. There are two more chimera engaged in really severe battle with the druids, but they are able to bring those down and dispatch of them. And as the dust settles in the center of Bronzewood Grove, this lone wizard stands surrounded by the bodies of his companions, of the terrible creatures they brought with them, and a band of very angry looking animals. And three of you. Eridu places a hand on Agner's shoulder and says, "This did not go well."
No, my friend, it did not. But we're going to but we're going to get some answers.
He coughs and says, "Yes, and we will get Emily back."
Eridu, please, one thing. Will you consent to have the druids heal you and look after you for a little while?
"I cannot. I'm sorry."
Okay.
And that's where we're going to end tonight.
All right. Well, guys, we thought we were so safe in Agner's little haven. We thought we were so safe. Turns out we're not. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Roll for Mischief, and please join us next Tuesday, and we'll continue this crazy little story that we call Voloheen, Winds of War.
Yep.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.